Have you ever noticed that some messages arrive in your life at the exact moment you need them the most? Not a second earlier, not a second later, but right when your mind is open and your heart is ready. That's what Jim Rohn used to say. When the student is ready, the lesson will appear. And if you're hearing this now, it's not by accident. You're here because something in your life is asking for a shift, maybe in your habits, your thinking, your confidence, or your direction. So let this message speak to that part of you that's ready to rise a little higher. Today's title is, This Message Will Reach You Exactly When You Need It. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. Why you're hearing this now, what it means for your future, and how to turn this moment into a turning point. Jim often said, life doesn't get better by chance. Life gets better by change. But before any change takes place, something powerful happens first. Awareness. Most people move through life without recognizing their moments of awakening. Those quiet inner nudges telling them to improve, to try again, to upgrade their thinking. Maybe you're feeling that now. Maybe you've been thinking about increasing your discipline, fixing your finances, improving your mindset, or breaking old habits. This message is here to confirm that whisper inside you. It's time. Think of it like the early morning light. At first, you barely notice it. Then suddenly the whole room is illuminated. This message is that light, showing you what can change, what must change, and what you're capable of changing. One of Jim's greatest teachings was simple. Your life changes the moment you decide, not when the economy changes, not when other people change, not when things suddenly become easier. Your life changes when you decide that you're ready to grow. Most people never make that decision. They wait for a better time. But successful people, people who live with clarity and purpose, they know that the decision must come first, and the results come second. A friend once told Jim, I'll start improving my life when things settle down. Jim said, my friend, life doesn't settle down, you do. So let me ask you, what decision have you been postponing? This might be your moment to finally choose growth. Jim Rohn loved the phrase, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Not huge leaps, not overnight miracles, just small shifts applied consistently. Imagine a plane altering its direction by just 1 degree. At first, no one notices. But over time, it ends up in an entirely different country. Your life works the same way. A small improvement in your habits. A small upgrade in your thinking. A small shift in your discipline. A small decision you finally follow through on. These things compound. Over weeks, they become progress. Over months, they become growth. Over years, they become transformation. And this message, arriving now, is that 1 degree shift. You're still here, and that tells me something important. You're not just hearing these words. You're listening, and there's a big difference. Jim Rohn used to say, most people hear, but they don't listen. Listening means you're ready to receive. So if you're listening now, it means you're ready for the next steps that can genuinely shift your direction. Let's continue the message that arrived exactly when you needed it. Inspiration is powerful. It awakens something in us. But inspiration without action fades faster than we realize. Jim often joked that motivation doesn't last. But neither does bathing, and that's why we do it daily. It's the small daily actions that turn inspiration into transformation. Think about someone you know who's always talking about their goals. I'm going to get in shape. I'm starting a business. I'll fix my finances soon. Yet months go by and nothing changes. Why? Because inspiration struck, but action never followed. Imagine if a seed felt inspired to grow, but never rooted itself into the soil. It would stay the same forever. So now ask yourself honestly, what is one small action you can take today, not tomorrow, that proves you're ready for change? That one action is how you tell the world, and yourself, I mean it this time. Every person carries a story. Some are empowering, and some are prisons disguised as explanations. Jim Rohn said, if you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. But many people stay stuck because they're attached to an old story. This is just who I am. It's too late for me to change. My environment won't allow me to grow. I've tried before and it didn't work. These stories feel true because we've repeated them for years. But repetition doesn't make a story true. It only makes it familiar. A man once told Jim, "I can't save money. That's just how I grew up." Jim said, "Then outgrow it. You can rewrite the script. You can choose a new narrative. Your past does not get to be the dictator of your future, unless you hand it the pen." So let me ask you, what story do you need to retire? Because the message you're hearing now is telling you, it's time. Discipline isn't something you wake up with one day. It's built through repetition, structure, and small victories. Jim said, "Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built." You don't need to overhaul your entire life in 1 week. Instead, try this. Pick one habit you will follow through on every day for the next 7 days. It could be waking up 20 minutes earlier, journaling, saving $5, reading 5 pages, walking for 10 minutes, cleaning one small area of your room, turning your phone off before bed. These are small habits, yes, but small habits build confidence, and confidence builds discipline, and discipline builds a new life. Think of it like tightening a loose screw. You don't need to replace the entire machine. Often, one small adjustment makes everything run smoother. Jim Rohn used to say, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear." But here's the part most people miss. The teacher doesn't always look like a person. Sometimes the teacher is a moment. Sometimes it's a setback. Sometimes it's a message like this one. And it appears exactly when you're ready to step into a new season. Messages don't arrive randomly. They arrive when your mind is open, your heart is curious, and your life is ready for a shift. Think back on your week. There's a good chance you've felt stuck, drained, overwhelmed, uninspired, behind on your goals, or simply aware that you can do more. And then this message showed up. Not to motivate you temporarily, but to remind you of who you're capable of becoming. You didn't stumble here by accident. You arrived because something inside you is tired of repeating the same cycle. Something inside you wants growth, wants clarity, wants change. And that inner voice finally got loud enough to guide you here. Jim said a line that hits harder the older you get. The decisions you make today will determine the life you live tomorrow. Your future self, the one you imagine, the one you hope to become, is quietly watching the choices you make today. Every small action you take or don't take is a message sent forward in time. I'm serious. I'm improving. I'm ready. Or maybe later. But later is a thief. It steals dreams, opportunities, energy, ambition, health, time. Your future is shaped by moments like this. Moments where you choose to change direction, even slightly. Because even a 1-degree shift today becomes a completely different destination over time. That's why this message matters. Jim often reminded people, start where you are, with what you have, and do what you can. Most people wait for the right time, a time when they feel more confident, more ready, more organized, more motivated. But that time never comes. The only right time is the moment you decide to begin. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know your entire path. You don't need to see every step ahead. You just need your next step. Maybe it's learning a skill. Maybe it's getting healthier. Maybe it's improving your finances. Maybe it's cutting a distraction. Maybe it's removing a toxic pattern. Maybe it's choosing yourself for once. Whatever it is, start. Because nothing changes until you do. Here's what Jim Rohn believed about people like you. You have more potential than you've been using. You have more strength than you've been showing. You have more discipline than you've been practicing. You have more opportunities than you've been noticing. And you have more control than you've been admitting. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not stuck forever. You are simply standing at the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter you now get to write with intention. This message didn't find you by accident. It found you because you're ready,